Welcome to the Lifetime Assembly channel. My name is John. Today I'm going to help you assemble your in-ground PowerLift basketball system with a 52-inch shatterproof backboard. Before we get started, make sure the model number of your basketball system is listed in the description below. This video will follow the steps outlined in the assembly manual that came with the system, but if you've already begun and need help on a specific step, check the description below for a timestamp associated with each step. There are steps within this assembly that require at least 2 people, so be sure to have another adult available to help. Before we get into the assembly process, let's take a look at the tools you'll need to complete the job. You may want to pause the video now so you can gather the supplies shown on the screen. You will also need additional tools to prepare an area to anchor your basketball system, so refer to your manual to see what other supplies are needed. This video is meant to be used as a companion to the assembly manual and not a direct replacement, so for the best results, make sure to have the assembly manual on hand during the build. It's also crucial that you refer to the assembly manual to review the safety instructions for this build to prevent serious injury or property damage. Alright, let's get started. This section will go over how to cement your bottom pole into the ground. Since we're inside, we're not going to be able to do that, but it's important that you do. So refer to your manual in section 1 to see how to properly cement your bottom pole in the ground. For the purpose of this video, we're going to use this sleeve as our bottom pole. Take the bolts and add a washer to each bolt. Insert it into the small holes on the top pole. Add the sleeves to the bolts on the opposite side. Place a bracket over the bolts oriented like this, and then add the nuts. Slide the top pole onto the top of the middle pole, making sure that this small hole lines up with this slit at the top of the middle pole. Add the hardware until it's flush, but it's normal if it spins freely. Make sure you've done the previous steps properly before moving on to the next step. Now we're going to seat the poles together by striking the middle pole on a piece of scrap wood or cardboard 5 or 6 times. You're going to need to use some force, so be careful not to hit your toes. It's important that you complete this step, otherwise your poles could become separated during use, causing serious injury or property damage. Secure the poles together by inserting a self-tapping screw into this hole. The screw is designed to go through the metal underneath. Take a bolt and add a washer, then a bushing, and place it into the oblong holes on the front side of the rim, and then secure with a T-nut. As you tighten this hardware, make sure the bolt is on the outside edge of the oblong hole. You can use an adjustable wrench or a pair of pliers to hold the T-nut. Don't over-tighten the hardware, you don't want the bushings to bulge. Place a plastic guard onto the rim like this, then place the rim on the front side of the backboard and secure with the nuts. Place the U-bolt support bracket over these oblong holes Insert the U-bolt into the holes. Thread the nuts all the way down the U-bolt. Then add the springs, add the retainer plate, and then the nuts. Tighten the hardware only enough so that the rim doesn't wobble. Place the backboard brackets on the back of the backboard, making sure they're oriented like this. Add the hardware going from the outside in. If you're having a hard time adding the hardware in the next few steps, use the threads on the bolt to remount the excess powder coating in the holes. Add the short extension arms to these holes on the backboard bracket. There are 4 bolts that are similar. For these steps, use the longer bolts. Only finger tighten this hardware for now. Repeat the previous step, adding the long extension arms to these holes on the backboard brackets. Make sure when adding the long extension arms that the 2 holes that are close together go away from the backboard. Only finger tighten this hardware for now. With this bracket facing up, connect the pole to the long extension arms, going through these holes on the pole and these holes on the long extension arms. Connect these holes on the pole to these holes on the short extension arm. Now go back and tighten all of the hardware, but only tighten it so that the nut is flush with the end of the bolt. Place the cover onto the gas spring, making sure it's oriented like this. Attach this end of the gas spring and cover to the bracket and then secure with the hardware, making sure to only tighten until the bolt is flush with the end of the nut. Place the trigger into the handle oriented like this, then secure them together through this hole with the hardware. Next, add the release pin to the oblong holes on the gas spring. Add the lifter arms to the inside of the long extension arms with the hardware. Place the handle over the pole, making sure the release pin sits into these notches. Add the bolt going through the handle, lifter arm, trigger, and the gas spring. Only finger tighten this hardware for now. Connect the other end of the handle to this hole on the pole, making sure to add your spacers, then go back and tighten the hardware from the previous step. Now add the grease from the grease packet to the release pin. Now you can remove the plastic film from the backboard. Add the center frame pad just below the rim and secure it with the self-tapping screws. The corner frame pad will overlap the center frame pad. Make sure you follow the next steps exactly, otherwise you'll have to order new poles from our customer service. Start the next step by lowering the hoop to the lowest setting. With the help of at least one other person, lift the assembly up onto the bottom pole, making sure the hole in the bottom of the middle pole lines up with the slit at the top of the bottom pole. While someone continues to hold the system, insert the screw into this hole. We're going to seat the system to the bottom pole by placing a block on the top pole and tapping it down with the rubber mallet. The middle pole needs to cover the slot in the bottom pole completely. If it doesn't, stop and call customer service. Now you can add the cap to the top pole. Once you've seated the poles properly, secure the poles together by inserting the self-tapping screw into this hole. Place the large loops on the net into the hooks on the rim. Now you can attach the pole pad to the pole. With the help of another person, raise the system so that the top of the rim measures 10 feet from the playing surface. Place a height adjustment sticker on the gas spring just below the cover, making sure the 10-foot mark is at the top. Thank you for watching this video on how to assemble your Lifetime in-ground PowerLift basketball system with a 52-inch shatterproof backboard. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to our customer service team and check out our other awesome products at lifetime.com.